I guess we could just get started. They'll hop on when they hop on. Welcome to this session of Beyond the Feed. Today we're covering engagement and community building. So here's just an overview of what we'll cover. Engagement isn't just a bonus. Community over audience. Small actions equals big trust. And building your circle. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the chat or just unmute yourself and ask away. Engagement isn't just a bonus. It's not all about the likes and the shares. It's about building a strong, connected community that drives in website traffic and also when you have those links in your bio, that's what I mean by website traffic. Foster trust and ultimately contributes to business growth. Social media engagement really refers to how your audience interacts with your content across all of your platforms. It includes actions like likes, comments, shares, saves, and clicks, messages, as well as DMs. These are all indicators that people are paying attention and actively participating in your content. Well, many people think that it's just likes. Like we're saying, it's obviously more than that. And today we're just going to talk a little bit about what you can do to foster more of an engagement in a community. So some of the strongest signals that people are resonating with your content and you're actually doing a good job of engaging is it boosts your reach. So social media platforms love when you're engaging with people. The more people that you interact with and the more people who interact with your posts means the algorithm is going to push your content to more audiences. So more engagement equals more visibility. You can kind of think about it like if you spend a minute on an Instagram reel and you keep watching it and then you like it, maybe 2 or 3 videos down, you're going to get very similar content. So the more that you're commenting or watching or interacting on people's things, the more that Instagram is being like, okay, they're active. We can push their content out to other people as well. It builds trust and loyalty. People are more likely to trust and support brands that feel accessible and human. When you engage with your audience by replying to comments, joining conversations, acknowledging feedback, it creates a genuine friendship. It's always interesting when I look on influencers' Facebook or Instagram posts and their comments are like, people are like, oh my gosh, gorgeous, love, and they don't respond back. It's just kind of, it feels almost fake, like you're showing it off. But when influencers comment back, they're like, oh my gosh, I miss you, or I'm just trying to recreate your vibes. Like it feels like they genuinely care about the comments and the people who are interacting with their post. So that's like a great way to build trust and loyalty with somebody who might have never actually met you yet, but you want to get them as a client. It drives website traffic and conversions. Every like, comment, and share increases the chance of somebody going through your Instagram or your Facebook to click on those links in your bio. It just is an easy way to get engagement. Yeah. It helps you understand your audience. The way that people interact with your comment or content gives you valuable insights into what they like, what they need, and what they keep coming back for. This makes it easier to create content that truly resonates with your audience. I'll talk about that a little bit more uh, throughout the presentation, but like kind of find your niche. Sorry, 1 second. Bella, if you, I have somebody looking for
Yep,
Earth's Money, sorry.
yep, all good. Um, I think the main thing that I would say about this is just that the more that you're engaging with people, the more that they're going to engage with your content. So like kind of piggybacking off what Madeleine said, it's really easy to just like heart someone's comment on Instagram. It takes a little bit more effort per se to comment back to them, but it shows them that you care and that you like they matter to you. The one thing that I would say about that is when you comment back, just kind of making it personalized to what their comment is. So like if they're commenting something like for you could say like, oh, they are interested in this house. You comment back being like, oh, reach out to me or DM me and I'll give you a little bit more information, is a good way instead of just being like, yeah, it's a beautiful house, like letting them know that you can give them information on the property and things like that will be very helpful. Unfortunately, I cannot go to the next slide since Madeline is controlling the screen. Um, but I think another thing that I could talk about is for you can see a lot of people nowadays when they are making a post and they'll have in the caption like comment link and I will DM you the link for, let's say, like a lot of the ones I see are for like clothes. And they'll say that, and then you will comment link, and it'll instantly send you a link to that. There's actually a platform that Madeline and I were researching yesterday, and that's the platform that helps you have that automation set up, which is really interesting. Um, and I know Charlie Walker does it a lot. He just did one recently where he said like comment lake, and it like once you did that, he sent you the link to the listing. So that's also something to keep in mind where it is still personalized because you're still DMing them and sending them that, but it is generated, so you don't have to spend like a lot of time going and like DMing every single person the link. Yeah.
Oops. Okay. So, sorry about that. Like I said, I'm pseudo covering the front desk. I think Bella touched a little bit about like, I think understanding your audience and everything. So we're gonna move on. Um, Instagram versus Facebook. So obviously these are the top two platforms that most realtors are using. TikTok is another great one, but I'm not going to touch on that because that's just its whole other situation. So their engagement is going to be the same across all platforms, but things work a little bit better on Instagram versus better on Facebook. Um, Overall, posting when your audience is active really matters depending on what social media platform you're on. Um, I think we talked a little about it in the Meta Business Suite. You can look through and look specifically at your active times. I know that out there's general active times that you can try to post at, but Meta Business Suite will tell you like your Instagram followers are more active at night on Thursday nights, and Facebook it's the mornings on Tuesdays. Like post when your people are on because timing matters. If you need a refresher on that, again, look at your Meta Business Suite. I would also suggest making sure that your Instagram and Facebook are on business pages because that way you can see all of that information. Use Instagram stories daily. Stories keep you top of mind, encourage quick engagement. Use interactive stickers like polls, question boxes, and quizzes to get people tapping and responding. Like, I think 2 weeks ago, I talked about just the things that you can post on your Instagram story, keeping it real, always having something on there just so that you stay top of mind to your people. Heavy on reels. Instagram is really, really pushing videos. Like every video, they're just really throwing it into like the For You page. And then when you scroll on just the reels page, it's just an easy way to get people engaging with your stuff because it's going to be pushed to a wider audience. Not saying that photos won't be pushed, but Instagram is really reel heavy right now. I think they're trying to, in a way, take over what TikTok is doing. So that's why. Encourage saves and shares. So on the bottom of Instagram, there's that little kind of looks like a upside down bookmark in a way. That's your saves. And there's a lot of content out there that people want to like tips and tricks to make your kitchen look cute. Like they want you to save that so that you can, oh no, is my screen not loading?
I think it, at least on my screen, it's still on the first slide.
Oh no. Hold please, sorry. Um,
There
is
we
that
go.
okay? Sorry about that. I don't know why I was paused. Um, oh, but I was saying like you want to create content that people are going to save and share because that way they can go back to it and they can see it. And that also means that you have good engagement. Like people care enough about the content that you're putting out that they want to save it for later. So that's always a really good thing. Using hashtags. Don't overdo the hashtags. I think we've talked about this a few times. Like use relevant ones. There's popular ones, like your basic hashtag realtor, but then there's also niche ones like Lake Country or West Dallas. Like try to get specific with your hashtags. Like general hashtags are good, but the niche ones are where you're really going to find your community and the people who resonate with the posts that you have. Runaway giveaways, not runaways, and contests. They're super, super quick hits of engagement. So if you're gonna do like a I don't know, you're giving away Burke's candy. It's a super easy way for your audience to engage with you, whether you're asking them to share your most recent listing or tag a friend on your most recent post. It's getting them involved, and 9 times out of 10, you're asking them to bring somebody else to your community. So it's super easy way for you to organically gain followers and likes and comments. Collaborating with others, so partnering with local businesses, other realtors, brands, easy way to grab their audience and bring them to your page. So you can, in Instagram, you can always collab with people so it shows up on like both of your Instagram pages. That's a great way to boost your engagement because you're not only getting your own followers watching, but you're getting whoever you're collaborating with as well.
I think
And then,
talking about, sorry, I'm gonna interrupt
no,
you.
you're good.
Talking about the collaborators, um, kind of some ideas on this that like, I mean, I think collaborating with businesses and stuff is such a great idea, but also like when you have a closing and you're posting your closing photo, like collaborate with your clients, collaborate with the loan officer or like the company that you guys are using for their loan. It'll show up on there, like especially if they're like more of a boutique like brokers, so like I don't know, Epic or A Plus or Cream City. If you collaborate with them, they'll definitely accept it and it'll be showing on their page too. So that'll really help reach their audience as well. So just an idea.
Yeah, I know Jake is pretty good about that. Jake from Epic is really good about like if he's closing with a realtor, they'll both kind of collaborate together and they'll show up on both their pages. So that's a fun way to collaborate with people already in your sphere. And then lastly, carousels keep people swiping. So Instagram is having a major shift to carousels because you're staying longer on that content. Sometimes videos get a little too long for people and they kind of tune out after 10 or 15 seconds, which I'm guilty of doing. But carousels keep people on there. So Instagram is kind of favoring carousels at the moment. And people seem to really be liking them as well because you can add up to 20 pictures, which is a lot and you don't have to do it in a video format. So it's not as time consuming, just as much comment or as much content as a video could hold. Facebook, they say to go live regularly. I've never gone live. It kind of gives me a lot of anxiety. But if that's your thing, they love that you're active on Facebook. So they'll kind of prioritize your stuff. So if you like to go live, that could be a great way to kind of get your stuff out there. Um, like maybe behind the scenes of a tour or like a Q&A of how you go about staging a house. Like super easy, that don't have to be anything like a huge production. Um, let's see. Again, posting content that encourages sharing. So funny memes, relatable quotes, helpful tips. Like think of your fun, silly millennial content. That's what goes well on Facebook. Like people want to be on Facebook to see the funny, happy stuff. It's not your glamorous, super pretty, polished Instagram page. Join Facebook groups. This is a huge one. If you're not active in a Facebook group, you're missing a huge engagement opportunity. If you're part of the KW community, you'll see we're literally always posting in the comments. Like there's always a conversation going. It's so easy to get your touch points if you're in a community. And I would suggest following the places that you love to work in and be in, like follow a lake country page, or you like boating, follow, you can be very niche, like Muskego Lake Boating Club or whatever. Like you find your communities because that's where you're going to get high engagement because people know you from these communities. And then y- mm, I didn't mean to put user generated content in there. I didn't look through before these were like Facebook's top tips and tricks, but we'll skip over user generated content. And then experiencing with different types of posts. On Facebook, make sure to mix it up. They suggest instead of putting links to videos, try to embed the videos into the Facebook. So like use Facebook. I think it's still Reels technically. Instead of like a lot of the times we will post like, oh, this is our YouTube link, and then it brings you somewhere else. Like if you post the video in Facebook, then you get more engagement of people staying on your Facebook post. And then just some bonus ideas just to kind of get you thinking about engagement. Let's say you were to go comment on like Stone Creek, their new reel. Maybe they end up pinning your comment like, oh my gosh, no way that Bella just commented on our reel. Like we're going to put it at the top to make sure everybody sees that she commented on my reel. And then if I'm just going through and looking at the comments, I can see like, oh, they pinned that comment. I'll go follow that person. And now you gained a new follower solely because you commented like, oh, they have the best matcha. And I agree with you. So now I'm going to follow you on Instagram or Facebook. Like super easy way to engage. Reacting and responding to stories, it takes literally one tap to respond to a story. There's that little like button in the corner, or you can comment and then emojis pop up. Like a quick like, oh my God, this is stunning goes a long way. Like it really makes you think like, oh yeah, this person is thinking about me. I always get really excited when people comment on my Instagram story. They're like, oh, like I posted something that people enjoyed watching. So if it makes me happy, I'm sure it'll make anybody else happy. Commenting, uh, don't be fake about it. Like, don't use it as a way of like, oh my God, I love your listing. You should come check out mine in Heartland. Like, no, don't do that. Just be like, wow, this kitchen is a dream. Like, be authentic. That's not what you're using Instagram for. Try to be your true self. If you would say it in person, say it on the comment. That's an easy way to think about it. And then lastly, sliding into people's DMs. Same thing with the Instagram stories. Like it's super easy to just kind of like use that little, it's like a send arrow and it'll automatically bring you to their DMs and you can comment away and be like, oh my gosh, like thank you so much for sharing these tips and tricks. Like it's really helped me do XYZ. Just little things really go a long way when it comes to engaging with people. And then just so the general public knows, there is a way to calculate your engagement rate. So let's say you're contemplating whether or not your Instagram video is working for you. If that's the platform that you think you want to use, take one of your posts in general, look at how many likes and comments and shares and saves that you've had. That would be under your total engagement. And then you divide that by your total followers and then times it by 100 so that you can get a percentage. As you can see, like 1 to 3 is decent, 3 to 6 is strong, 6+ is like really, really good. Don't feel discouraged if you're in the low 3%. Like it's hard to really get yourself up to the 6% and above, but it's a good thing to aim for. And it's also a good thing to keep in mind, especially if you're thinking about changing things up. Like if you feel like your likes haven't been as high, you could go back and be like, okay, what content were people really engaging with versus what did I do in this video or this post that people weren't really liking. So that's a good way to kind of go back to the basics and figure out what your audience is into. Switching to community over audience. You don't need a big following, you just need a connected one. So, like we were saying before, join these groups, get yourself a little community, and make sure that people are talking with each other. It's not just a one-way street. Like you can foster all of this community and create an amazing space for these people, and they'll always come back to you. Something that was shared with me was like the 5, 5, and 5 rule in social media marketing. It's a strategy that focuses on like consistent engagement in order to build a community. And it basically means you spend 5 minutes on a platform interacting with 5 posts by liking or commenting, and then repeating this process on 5 different platforms. Um, I wouldn't necessarily say you need 5 platforms, but thinking about spending at least 5 to 10 minutes on 5 to 10 posts on Facebook, Instagram, and maybe like LinkedIn or TikTok. Just another way to help increase your engagement. And it also doesn't have to feel so overwhelming because I know a lot of the times people are like, oh my gosh, like I spend way too much time on Instagram. Like if you have just a 5 minute time limit in your head, it's shocking how much more you can do other than just, like, get lost in ads and links and stuff, like, you have 5 minutes to find people, you're gonna get a lot more done than just, like, aimlessly brain rot scrolling. So time limits are a good thing. Content ideas that build community, find almost like a calendar or a routine that works for you, like a shout out Saturday, a client love post Wednesday, a shared wins, I don't know, every other week. Like trying to find a consistent schedule is what's going to make it easy for you to grow an active community. Um, there's so many I Bella can maybe help me, but I know that, like, Newbie does his list for newbies, I think he puts them out on Mondays. Mackenzie Brogan does I think it's, like, her Lake Country Girls or something, and she puts them out every month or something along the lines of that, just, like, something that's semi-consistent, that's focusing on a local business,
Mhm.
person, or event that can help be like, "Okay, yeah, this is my community that I wanna be in."
I know another one is Jessica Hanawi does her hometown highlights. So she highlights like a lot. I think she kind of does all over Milwaukee. But I know she highlights a lot of places like in Oak Creek because that's where a lot of her business takes place. So just something to think about.
Yeah, that's also a good example, like, you don't have to be super, super specific, but definitely highlight local Milwaukee things. Like there's so much to do and obviously you're a realtor here, so you love Milwaukee, you love Wisconsin, you love where you live. Like show us why. Show us the people and the businesses and the events that like really make you go, "Yes, this is why I live in Fox Point," or "This is why I love to go out to Lake Country." So client love posts are easy. They're an easy way to number one, like reconnect with your past clients, and number two, be like, oh my gosh, like look at this dreamy home that I sold a month ago or 2 years ago. Like look at what they've done to their kitchen or their garden. So like you're showing people that like this is a home that I have helped some real person get into without having to be like all up in the person's business. Like you're showcasing the house because that's your true love, but like making sure that you're going back to your clients.
I know a lot of people also do like the home anniversary.
Mhm.
Um, I see some people posting it, but I know like Emily Balls actually like writes handwritten notes and will like take a picture of it and post it on her Instagram story, like tagging her clients and being like they're celebrating their 1 year home anniversary. So that's also a really cute idea because it lets people know that like you're still in contact with your clients and like you guys built a relationship and fostered a relationship so much that you're able to post it on social media and be like, we're celebrating them today.
Yeah, and it also goes perfectly into collaborating and tagging people. Like it's another easy way. Obviously, that can just be like an Instagram story, but you can always collaborate people on your Instagram story and tag them, and then they have the opportunity to reshare it. So you're always getting more visibility if you're tagging and sharing things. So just another plus to you highlighting the people you work with. And then I put down here like a following is passive and a community is active. So you don't want people you yes, it could be cool that you have 15,000 followers, but if you only get 100 to 200 likes or views, then you don't have an active community. You just have people following you for the glitz and the glamour. You want people interacting with you because then they're truly authentic followers, and you might be able to make something out of that versus just somebody randomly following you. Just a few tips and tricks. So making sure you're understanding your audience, you need to identify your target audience, like pinpoint demographics, interests, the needs of your community, gather insights by using analytics and engagement data to understand what your people like, and tailor your content to them, make them feel seen and valued. Engage authentically. This is so, so, so important. Like, be your true self. Don't try to be somebody fake. Don't try to be like, I don't know, just be yourself. Like, if you're fun and quirky and have like a little bit of a sassy response to things, like do that on Instagram. Like, people get to know you through the comments and messages that you send to people. People see those things and they're like, "Oh, I like the way that she responded to that. I like the way that she wrote that." Like, that's how people decide that you're the one that they want to go with. Make sure to ask questions. Like, you don't know everything. Asking questions has the opportunity for somebody to be like, oh yeah, like they value what I have to say. They that could be a good relationship, and a future client be like, oh yeah, we were asking about XYZ. That's how I'm gonna pick you. So ask questions. Facilitate conversations. So like in your Instagram captions, you can ask a question like, would you paint over Cream City brick? And people would be like, oh my God, why would you ever do that? Or you'd be like, okay, this is why I would do that. So facilitate questions and kind of gather the community in your comments to talk about something. And then just being present. You're part of the community. You're not just the content publisher. So you can also just keep that in mind. Creating engaging content. Try to mix up your posts. You want to make sure that you have some images and some videos and then client reviews. Like, don't always be posting open houses and just closed type video or type pictures. Like, put some videos in there. Mix it up a little bit. Behind the scenes, I think I've talked about that a lot. I love a behind the scenes. I want to know what you're doing. I want to know how you stage a house. It's so easy. You're already doing it. You might as well just set up your phone, take a video of it. Make content that provides value. Something that is informative, something that is entertaining, something that offers a benefit and not just a static post. And then hashtags, make sure you're using relevant ones and not too many. And then lastly, foster a sense of belonging, being transparent, openly communicate your brand's missions, visions, and values. Recognize your community and acknowledge and appreciate your community members, maybe a follower or I don't know, other people in like maybe another realtor, like recognize that there's more than one KW realtor and that you can always collaborate with them and recognize their wins as well as your own. And then hosting events is also another easy way. You can, push that through Instagram and host an event to foster a sense of a belonging, like, oh, I want to invite all of my followers to do this. And that way you can take these Instagram followers and actually make a real lead off of it. Meet them in person. That could be really cool. Yeah, focus sorry. To effectively build a community on social media as a realtor, you need to focus on consistent, engaging content that highlights your local expertise and fosters genuine interactions with your audience. This includes sharing neighborhood updates, promoting local businesses, and actively participating in community groups. Additionally, leverage social media to showcase your personality, build trust, and establish yourself as a knowledgeable and approachable real estate professional. So just some ideas for you to be able to continue to engage your audience is like local focus, community engagement, authentic visual content, and value-added content. Small interactions equals big trust. real relationships start in the DMs and not your comments. So I can't emphasize this enough. Like, using your stories as a way for people to reach out to you is just so easy. So many realtors take advantage of it, which is really nice. Like, I think Charlie does a this or that type home. It's easy to ask a question like, would you live in a tiny home? Which kitchen would you pick? Like, you can pull these images off of anywhere. You could collaborate and maybe pull them off of somebody else's listing or something, but stories, polls, and question boxes are so easy. And then it fosters a sense of communication, because people will be like, oh my God, why would you ever live in a tiny home? And then you could reply to them and be like, right? Like, how crazy? Or you could argue back, like, oh, this is what I love about a tiny home. There's so many ways that you can take this conversation too and use it to post, figure out what you want to post next. Like, people are really into picking, I don't know, tiny homes or something. Then you can figure out a post that highlights a tiny home or somehow connect it to a listing. What's up, Bella?
I was just gonna say that a good example of this is yesterday, the Stale Realty Group did kind of like a poll on their story, and it was like, would you rather live in like have a pool in a backyard or a patio in your backyard? And based off of what like what the people were polling, they then went to ChatGPT and kind of created what these backgrounds would look like. So here, let me see if I can pull up. Oh, it might be. Oh no, it's still on here. So it's like building your ideal backyard. And they like kind of asked like for lake view or city view, fire pit or hot tub. And that you kind of go through, and based on what was chosen, they then went and created AI versions of what that backyard would look like. So that's kind of just a fun thing to do to like, I mean, I know I like kind of went through and answered the polls, and then it was fun to see what they like were creating on ChatGPT. So just something to keep in mind. And then the other thing that I was going to mention is that I remember last year when we had newbie on our social media boot camp, he said that when people who didn't follow him commented on his posts, he would just DM them and be like, hey, like I see you commented on my video. Were you interested in like buying or selling, or are you just like here because you like the content type of thing? Which is another way that you're able to like kind of reach out to see if this is like going to be an active buyer or seller, but also to like build a relationship. And like if you're a random person and you commented on newbie's post that got like so many likes and follows, and then he DMs you, it's going to feel pretty cool. You're going to be like, whoa, like this person recognized me. Um, so just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I love that. And I just think about I try to think about your own celebrities that you follow on Instagram. Like, how would you react if one of them DM'd you or liked your comment or pinned your comment? I would get a little bit excited, like, oh my gosh, like they recognized me. It's so easy to make somebody's day just by commenting on it. Which kind of ties into the small gestures equal big loyalty. Like, you can make people feel so good about themselves and about following you and your content just by sending a happy anniversary, your house anniversary. Like, that's such a cute idea that Jessica does. So just small gestures, keep that in mind, and think of how you would want your big celebrity follower or your big celebrity inspiration to interact with you. That's how I would kind of go about doing that. And then lastly, building your social circle. So I would treat Instagram almost as like you're you're farming a certain community, or you're farming your whatever town that you are looking to be in. So you wouldn't want to just like, drop information and then not come back to that. Like, you want to follow your neighborhood local pages and your local shops and your local events. Like, you really want to be focused on those communities. If you want to be like bigger and more general, that's all right. But I feel like it works better when you pick your niche, and don't pick it just because nobody else is doing, I don't know, Racine. Like, pick it because you truly care about it. Like, going back to being authentic, like you want to make sure that people know that you truly love living in that area. And that's why you should pick you, because you are going to show them, like, yeah, this is why we're going to buy a house here, because you've showed them this neighborhood. It's just such an easy way to engage with people. And then like just making sure that I don't know, you're never going to bash on any other community, but like making sure that you're really just uplifting. Like, don't be bashing on any other community. Just focus on your own community. Don't be negative. Never be negative on social media. And then I would highly suggest getting into a ritual. I know that we scroll on social media for a lot, but be like have a focus as to why you're scrolling on social media. So some ideas: a follow Friday, pick 3 new local businesses or influencers and follow them. Comment club, make it a habit to comment on 5 local posts every morning with your coffee. It's a super easy way, especially if you're used to being on social media. Make sure that you're actively commenting. Tag a friend, also another easy way to just get more visibility, because then a friend sees it and maybe they repost it or something, and you're just always bringing more people into your social media circle. And then people want connection, not perfection. We're all humans. Um, Share your wins, but also be real. Like, your Instagram story is a perfect place to showcase your mess ups. You're like, whoops, shouldn't have done that, or oh, I've learned a valuable lesson. Social media is a conversation, not a billboard. You're not just posting things and walking away. You have to interact. You have to foster those relationships. Um, yeah, just stay real. Uh, and then a thing to think about, like, who in your community do you want to connect with more? And what content could you create to support them? And then I have a little challenge for you to just DM some people that you admire locally, comment on 5 local pages, and shout out one business client or another agent this week. And then figure out a schedule that works for you to build community. Do you have anything else to add, Bella?
No, I think you covered it. I would just say one thing that I feel like would be really helpful if you're not sure kind of where to start or how to go about like commenting back to people or like doing the stories or things like that is just look at some of our agents who really utilize social media. So like we've talked about Charlie Walker, look at his Instagram, newbies, Jessica's, just kind of go through theirs and see like, oh, okay, like I am understanding what they mean by like commenting back to people on Instagram when they comment. For example, like if you go to Charlie Walker's and like one of his posts and you click on it, someone was like obsessed with the tennis racket bathroom wallpaper and he comments back, literally my favorite part is a huge tennis player. So just kind of building that connection of like, oh yeah, I play tennis, like, and I really liked that wallpaper as well, type of thing. So go through, look at that, look at people's stories and what they're posting just to get kind of ideas and to help brainstorm. And then you guys will be in a great spot.
Yep. That's all we have for this week. I cannot remember off the top of my head what we have planned for next week, but the time is changing. We will be meeting at 1 o'clock instead of 11 o'clock because of Ignite. So if you're not signed up for Ignite, go sign up for Ignite, and then you can come see us afterward. And that's all. See ya.